What's up, people? Oh my days! Today I cannot do all those things. I'm with a big man, Mr. Martei. So we have to bring it down a little. I'll be screaming, oh my days, my people, and all of those things. Mr. Martei, welcome to my channel.
Thank you. Thank you, Yemoh.
So guys, today I have here my grandfather. Like my grandfather. We are going to talk a lot today, and guys, just wait, don't go anywhere, and you are going to learn something new today. Mr. Martei, welcome to the channel once again.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I must say to your viewers that honestly, I'm starstruck in the presence of the great Yemoh. I mean, Yemoh is interviewing me. Is this live? Are we on camera? Is the camera working? Are we being captured?
Yes, I'm shy.
Now I better sit up. I'm going to have to sit up and sit straight and look camera ready.
Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you for inviting me over, Yemoh. I truly appreciate this. I've watched your industry for quite a while grow from its infancy. Let me say that I've been observing your industry, and to my mind's eye, you are sort of in a toddler age. There's a lot of experimentation,
Yes.
a lot of exploring going on, and I'm really fascinated. I mean, it's rather like watching a little toddler exploring his environment, discovering little things which you take for granted, and yet for themselves at their age,
Yes.
with their experience, everything is so exciting, everything is so new, everything is yet to be discovered.
Yes.
It's a totally new experience, a new world, as it were.
Actually, what you just said right now, the comparison you did, the toddler and it has just opened my mind. Like a toddler can just walk into fire without knowing what is going to happen until it will burn him or her before they realize. So that's what we are doing, just falling into the traps and making all the mistakes.
I hope you're learning from each other, and I imagine you are, because I see that you do a lot of collaboration with each
Yes,
other.
yes.
So I imagine that you are learning from each other, you are discovering what burn, what pierce, what create pain, what is pleasurable, and that is why you see a lot of replication between channels, because you are discovering those things, some of those things which work and those which don't.
Yes.
And so hopefully you're growing up together, you're learning from each other's experience, and you're not necessarily making the exact same mistakes.
Yes, we are learning from it, moving away from some content, and we are also trying to tell others to move away from such content.
I think it's very fascinating. I view your particular channel as experimental because I noticed that there are a number of ways in which you are trying new things. You seem to be attempting to lift other YouTubers into new spaces, urge them or encourage them to try new things. So there's a lot of experimentation
Yes.
in your channel as I see it. I see when I look at Woody Myers, he's more of an explorer.
Yes.
Seems to be stepping into the space of what traditionally has been the National Geographic sphere, bringing the life experiences of people who hitherto have not been noticed at all into the global sphere, offering the opportunity for such people to tell their own stories.
Yes.
So that's a different domain altogether. Perhaps the third channel which I've been fascinated with is Anita. I don't know if Anita has come to your attention.
I believe you really watch us. You really watch us a lot.
I must say that I do. I mean, you see, I'm just, as I like to say, a sorry-ass native on a pension.
because
With an attitude.
I was surprised with some of the names you mentioned the first time we met.
Okay.
You mentioned the Chanelis,
Right.
the Nubukes,
Right.
Marint, and I'm like, what?
Right.
Like these people, okay, Nubukes and the Marintiers and stuff, they are doing like current stuff,
Right.
things their age,
Okay.
and you are still watching them. So I was so surprised.
Right. You just wonder how I would be interested.
Yes, and guys, one funny thing, we kept texting each other. We were not talking.
No.
So when I was coming, I didn't even know who I was going to meet. When I met you, I was like, oh my God, this is my grandfather. We appreciate the support. Really appreciate the support. Guys,
No,
he knows you. Trust me. He knows
honestly,
you.
the collaboration which I've noticed amongst yourselves is just fascinating to me, because I don't recall anything which is comparable from our age and our life experiences. You get the idea. So it's just amazing to me. And to tell you the truth, yes, I'd like to see more of it, but even this is exceptional for Ghanaians. We've tended to be lone rangers operating by ourselves rather than teaming up on projects like you are doing. And I think that you deserve all of the encouragement and help that you can get.
Thank you.
All of
Thank
it
you.
and more.
Thank you. So, please, what advice can you give to youth out there, or the new YouTubers, or even the old ones, about helping each other? Guys, sorry for the noise. We are close to the airport.
I guess you're going to have to repeat that question because
Yes.
they may not have heard
Yes,
you.
yes. Okay, so please, what advice can you give to the youth, new YouTubers, even old ones out there, about supporting each other, collaborating, pushing one person to the top? Because I started a campaign with the Maya for million.
Okay.
And when I started, people were not really like using, but my subscribers always write it under the post, which I really appreciate. But other
Right.
YouTubers are not using it.
Oh.
It is not by force.
Okay.
But I was thinking, if we push Wodemaya to 1 million, YouTube will start recognizing Ghana, because Wodemaya is from Ghana.
Right.
Then we'll push another person to 1 million.
Right.
So that was the idea that came in mind. That's why I was doing the
Right.
Wodemaya. So please, what advice can you, or what can we learn from this?
No, what you're doing is very commendable. It's that when you look at the examples across the globe, like K-drama from South Korea or K-pop from South
K-pop.
Korea, you notice that it's a corporate effort. Corporate in the sense that they are teaming together and they are able to achieve a certain amount of momentum and stature in negotiating with suppliers, negotiating with service providers, negotiating with channels to broadcast their materials. Because they come as a group, they have greater bargaining power. And therefore, it's easier for them to promote their art together. Now, while it is true that each creative likes to operate independently, we love our independence. We love to do it the way we think, it ought to be done. And as far as we are concerned, everybody else is wrong, except ourselves. But at the same time, there's a need for infrastructure. Just like with transportation, you may have your business downtown in the central business district. You still need a means of getting there, and you need that means for your customers to come to you there. So you need good roads, you need a public transport system, etc. I believe that you need to get together to create some sort of infrastructure for yourselves in terms of videographers, sound engineers, etc., in terms of also the procurement of equipment. As I mentioned to you off camera, because your industry is technology driven, you're going to have to upgrade your technology from time to time, and very frequently also, because it's changing that fast. What do you do with the old equipment? On the other hand, if you have a strong guild for all YouTubers in Ghana, then you can, between yourselves, create a secondary market so that those who are just starting off can look at used equipment, which those of you ahead of us are discarding, and procure those equipment from you, rather than you just having to park the unused equipment.
True.
And by that means, you will be able to partially finance new equipment you want to buy. At the same time, we don't have to buy the equipment which you are disposing of at the,
Yes.
seller's price.
Yes.
Basically,
You
we
get at
get
a
it at a
cheaper rate.
discount.
Yes.
Exactly, that will allow for growth of the industry. There's a second aspect to consider. We artists, we creatives are continually learning and borrowing from each other. You look at the technique of one particular person or something one particular artist or creative has done, and then you think to yourself, I could do it differently. And in doing it differently, you are appealing to a different segment of the market. Okay? So you are broadening the exposure of this one subject to include your own segment. So the more creatives get into the YouTube space, the more people we have to learn from and to borrow from. We basically climb on each other, and by that means we can reach greater heights than we would if we had to conceive of everything ourselves, as it were.
Yes.
So it's important to encourage as many creatives into this industry as we can. Number three, there's this other aspect that the YouTube space really has a very low entry barrier. By that I mean that anybody who has a cell phone with a good enough camera,
Not even good enough, just a normal camera. Yeah, done.
there you are. You have sufficient equipment to start immediately.
Yes.
Now, all it takes is how creative you can be behind that camera. And you will be building an audience for yourself. You'll be building a following for yourself.
True.
It has a low entry barrier, which means that creatives in this country can enter this industry with minimal investment. They can create their own jobs by themselves, basically, with very minimal, very, very minimal capital equipment. And that's something which cannot be said with many, many other industries.
Yes,
with
that's
lots
true.
of other industries, you need much more capital, you need hand-holding, you need basic infrastructure, much more infrastructure than you would with a YouTube channel. And therefore, you tend to find that only persons with that sort of qualification, that sort of capacity are able to take advantage of, those opportunities. But here, it's all a question of how creative you are and how daring you are to try it
Yes.
and to post your first clip. And
And
then
that's
you're
it.
off to the races.
Okay. Guys, I hope you are learning. YouTubers out there, creatives out there, Charlie. All you need is a phone, email account. And that's it. You're a
Right.
creator. Be creative.
Right.
Yeah, you can
Absolutely.
you can live on that too. You anyway. Come and see me, we'll talk more.
He's telling you, and he's a champ. So you better listen.
Yes, okay. So this thing is really bothering me. I see companies running ads on TV, traditional media.
Okay.
They don't come to us in the digital space.
Right.
But honestly, the monies they are paying over there to the traditional media, 500,000 Ghana cedis, 300,000 Ghana cedis. If you get just 50,000 Ghana cedis and you gather all of us and you give this one 5,000, some 2,000, depending on what you can bring on board or your bargaining power, 2,000, 1,000, 300, 500. I think they can get almost all of us in the YouTube space. And that is really going to push their stuff or sell them. But they are not coming.
Okay.
Why are they not coming to us? Do you think we have to come together as a group and pick one leader or a marketing person to go and market for us? I want to understand.
Okay. I think that brings up the importance of having some sort of a guild to which all of you belong as creatives, a trust which can represent your interests collectively. If you have a guild, then the guild might approach these particular advertisers and make a proposal to them. Look, we have this number of channels, we have this extent of viewership. We have this number of hours of viewing as our history. And if you placed your product, if we introduce your products in our channels, then you can expect this much viewing and therefore this much benefit in terms of increased sales.
Okay.
That sort of thing can't be done by an individual YouTuber. It's best that you do it through a guild, you know, a representative body of yourselves which will negotiate on your behalf. And the other benefit of having that guild would be that then you can, through the guild, recruit a marketer who goes out searching for the channels for you, negotiating contracts with these advertisers to ensure that he's bringing in sufficient revenue, at least to fund your production costs. And then you won't have to finance your trips to Nkoko and
True, it's not easy.
Aburi.
It's not easy.
All right.
And I also think, even with that, if you're able to do this, which I know is very, very difficult, I know. But if you're able to do it, come together as one, under one umbrella, even if we get the ad, we can help each other shoot.
Absolutely.
I can help you get a very nice video.
Right.
Because we are under one umbrella and we've taken one man.
Right.
But if you are alone, you've taken your money, you call me, you want me to come and help, I might come, but I won't give you my best.
No.
And we'll not even get it because they don't even respect us.
Right.
Sorry to
You
say,
see,
they don't respect us.
You get the bargaining power in numbers
Yes.
when you come together. When you're negotiating as a group, then it's much more attractive to them because they realize that we have this number of channels and this number of viewers and subscribers who get exposed to our product. And then you can talk to them about placing their products within your production runs, for example, so that the viewers become familiar with the product because they see you use it or it is displayed within, you know, any of your clips. That's a very, very important, a very, very important channel for exposing their products to the market as it were.
So this one, I'll leave it to the big men. There were the Myers, the Cambi, Vanessa Cambis, the, you know, all of guys, do something, okay? And me, I'll
But
join.
Yemoh, I thought you were the champion of
No,
a team.
I can be part of a team, but this is a bit too much for me.
He's too modest to admit it. He's too modest to admit it.
So thank you so much for sharing this with us. I know, like,
Pleasure.
people will be surprised, like, hearing this because you've really opened our brain. We really appreciate you.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Always a pleasure to talk to you guys and to encourage you one way or another to
Thank
rise
you.
to greater heights than you have hitherto.
Thank you, sir. And guys, thanks for watching. Mr. Martei has a channel, right?
Yes, it's Martei
That's Martei
on the net.
on the net. You see, it's a surprise. It shock you. check the description box. Okay, the channel link is there. Just click on the link, navigate to the channel. Tell Mr. Martei, Yemoh brought me here. Let's show Mr. Martei the Yemoh power. I know you're going to do it. See you guys next time. Peace.
Amen.